Hi, everybody. I want to give a quick overview regarding today's agenda. So this is week 1, day 2, Tuesday. You're going to be, by the fact that you're watching this, that means you're accomplishing this first item here. Watch this quick overview of today's agenda. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through the different pieces that I'm wanting you to do today. So for the first thing, we need to learn. We need to learn the content. So you're going to watch and take notes over the following videos. Um, so you don't need to take notes over this video, but the videos you are going to need to watch and take notes over are this unit 2.1.1, the unit 2.1.2, and then just the 2.1.3 part 1. And you again are going to be able to get to those videos by coming up here to this introductory algebra YouTube playlist. So if you are opening up that playlist, they should already be in order there for you. So this was the one you would have watched yesterday. And then here is that 2.1.1 and 2.1.2. It's in the same video. And then you're watching 2.1.3 part 1. And again, just pay attention to the numbers that are here because it's going to correlate with what I've written on my Moodle shell as well. So you had the 2.1.1, 1.2, and 1.3 that are going to be assigned. And then don't forget too that there's that checklist that I told you guys about yesterday in the video, just to kind of like help you guys just keep track of what we're doing. And so again, I assigned this topic, this 2.1.1, the 2.1.2, and then the first part of 2.1.3 for today. And so that checklist, again, if you're over here in Moodle, that's going to be right here, this assignment checklist. And so that can, again, just kind of help you keep track of where you're at. So those are the videos that I'm wanting you to watch and take notes on. And then you're taking notes from your, let me get there, on your textbook. So in the textbook, again, look, it corresponds. There's that 2.1.1 again. You're going to be taking notes on this, the 2.1.2, and then the first part of 2.1.3. So the 2.1.3, the first part goes through page 9. So for today's lesson that you're going to be working through, you're going to be taking notes through page 9 today in your notes. And then I walk you through all of that too in those videos. Then you guys might see this. You might say, well, wait a second, what's this workbook thing? Page 81, 1 through 15. So the workbook is part of your textbook. It's already here for you. And so if I come over here to page 81, what I'm also wanting you to do is to do this page right here because it corresponds with those first two topics that I have assigned of you guys, that I've assigned you guys in order to watch the videos and take notes over. So this corresponds with those videos. And so that's why I have it written in the order that I have it in. So like if you look here, first I want you watching these two videos, and then I want you doing that workbook page because it's just kind of re-emphasizing what we just talked about in the video. It gives you some additional practice. So that way you can just really be working on those skills. And then when you guys get ready to do that, I do want you showing your work just like I would have shown you in the video. So you would do your long division, how many times will 5 go into 22 with what's left over. And so you'll show all of your steps here on this paper, just as I would have shown you in the notes. And then you'll finish up with 13, 14, and 15. You are more than welcome to work with each other on these group activities or these workbook pages. You're more than welcome to ask me for help. So text me, email me, contact Matea, who is also one of the tutors for this math class this summer. So feel free just to reach out and ask for some help. I'm more than happy to help answer any questions you guys have on that. Okay, so that gets us through the learning part. Well, then you're going to do the practicing part. So it says complete the following in your EdReady account. Well, you'll notice I only did these first two topics in EdReady because we did not complete this topic. We'll complete that topic tomorrow. So you won't have this one to do in EdReady, just these first two to do in EdReady. And I'm having you guys do only the practice problems and then the check your knowledge test for those 2 topics. And then you're going to see here, item number 3, make sure you're studying your divisibility rules for a timed quiz tomorrow. So the reason why it's timed is so that you're actually practicing and learning your divisibility rules. You're not just you know, kind of mindlessly taking notes over it and then not paying attention and then having to read everything from your notes to apply it to the quiz. So I'm actually wanting you to kind of study your divisibility rules so that you can more quickly recall that information for the quiz tomorrow. And the quiz tomorrow will be very similar to what the tables look like in your notes on pages 7 and 8. So if you're kind of wanting to know what that quiz might be like, I'm going to give you some number, and it's going to be a larger number, more like the number that's at the bottom of those tables on pages 7 and 8. And then I'm going to ask you to apply your divisibility rules to that number and just kind of showing your work so that I know that you know your divisibility rules. So that was what it'll be like. In terms of your EdReady portion, so if you are not familiar with EdReady, so again, keeping in mind, I'm assigning the practice problems and the check your knowledge quiz. So again, on your checklist, it would be the practice problems and then check your knowledge test here. So you're going to come over here to your EdReady account. And apparently I have to log in again because it logged me out. So you're going to come in here. So here's my 090 goal, and you're going to come in here to this first unit of fractions and mixed numbers. Then you're going to come here to that first topic. Again, remember, look at your checklist. That first topic should say Introduction to Fractions and Mixed Numbers. And then come over here to your EdReady. It should say the same thing, Introduction to Fractions and Mixed Numbers. Your practice problems are going to be located in this Learn icon. And then look, right here is your Check Your Knowledge test. So this is one of the pieces I'm wanting you to do for this topic. The other piece is in here, and I'm wanting you to do the practice problems. And so you would come through here and do your practice problems, and you can see that I already went through and clicked through the practice problems, and then here's my score, which you can obviously tell is terrible. So like I just went through and randomly guessed and then got a terrible score on purpose to show you that if you get something like this, you should absolutely come down here and hit retake. You can retake this as many times as you would like in order to get a better score. And I would encourage you to do that. So when you are doing your practice problems for this topic, once you get to the end of it, it will give you your results page that looks like this. And then I request that you take a screenshot of it. So on my Mac, in order for me to take a screenshot, I have to hit the Command, Control, Shift, 4. And then I'm going to take my screenshot and I'm going to include everything. So it gets the timestamp. It's going to get my name, which as you guys see is test student 21. So I just took my picture. So I'm going to include my name. It needs to include the topic. It needs to include the word practice, or you can see practice here. It needs to include the score. And so you're wanting to just take a screenshot that has all those pieces to it. And then you would open up a Word document or a Google Doc or something like that, and you're going to paste that screenshot into that Google Doc or that Word document. And then you are going to come back to your study path, and you are going to want to do the next topic, which I'd asked you guys to do, which is this proper and improper fractions, and you'd click into this Learn icon, and you would do the same thing. You're going to come down here to the practice problems. You're going to do the practice problems with the hope of getting at least an 85%, because an 85% again earns you a 100% in the gradebook. So that is your goal, to get at least an 85% on the practice problems, which gets you 100% in the gradebook. So you're going to finish your practice problems with, again, the goal of at least an 85%. You're going to take your screenshot. You're going to go paste it into that same Word document that your other screenshot was taken in from that previous topic. So you're going to paste this screenshot in there after you finish those problems. And then you would come back to your study path and you would do your check your knowledge test. And you want to do the check your knowledge test so that it shows up as green and mastered instead of like this one right here says red and not ready. So you want it to show up as green and mastered instead. And how you get it to show up as green and mastered is that you take this check your knowledge test and you get 100% on it. And you do not, I repeat, do not need to take screenshots of that, of the check your knowledge test score, because I can see that progress in my teacher view of your guys' accounts. So let me come back to my Moodle page for a second. So that's what you're doing for these pieces. And then when it comes to turning the assignments in, and I'm not going to ask you to do this every single day. I'm not going to ask you to do the notes portion every single day. I just want you guys to practice doing it today so that I can make sure you guys aren't having any questions on it. But I want you guys to be turning in your notes and your workbook page down here into this notes check assignment link. So you guys can take, so what I'd ask you guys to do is to take or not take pictures, but scan in pages 2 through 9 and page 81 in as a single PDF. And then you are going to upload that PDF right here into this assignment drop link. And so each of those pages, as long as they are fully complete, you've shown your work, you've done all the things that you need to, you can earn up to 10 points per page with the possibility of getting 100% on that, which is a 90 out of 90. If you have never done that before, if you have never used your phone to scan and create a single PDF, I linked 3 different YouTube videos depending on what type of phone you might have. And again, this is assuming you have a smartphone. If you don't have a smartphone, then contact me and we'll figure something else out. But assuming that you have a smartphone, iOS users, you can use your Notes app. I honestly use Cam Scanner. It works far more efficiently for me. It's totally free as well, but this is the one I use and I have an Apple phone. Or if you're an Android user, you can use your Google Drive and do it that way, or you can also use Cam Scanner. But anyway, what I would like for you to do is you're going to have to do a little bit of looking on your own here based on what phone you have. And then you can watch these little tutorials and figure out how you can scan in those pages into a single PDF. And if you don't know how to do that, contact me as soon as possible after you've had a chance to look through these videos. If you still have questions on it, please contact me. And we can, that's something I can absolutely help you with. So the other thing you can do is you can always contact our IT help desk, which is 406-683-7777, and they can also help troubleshoot with some of those things as well. So anyway, that's where I'm going to have you turn in your notes. And then as far as your screenshots for your EdReady pieces, your EdReady screenshots from these 2 topics right here, from the practice problems, you guys are going to turn those in right here. And these I do have you turn in every day. So the EdReady screenshots, you're going to click into that assignment. The Word document or the Google Doc or however it is that you're wanting to paste, whatever you're pasting those 2 screenshots in, you're going to upload that document into this assignment drop. So the Word document or a PDF, if you're using a Google Doc and then you transfer it into a PDF, you can upload that right here into this assignment Dropbox. And then again, just make sure that all of those pieces are visible, your username, your score, the topic title, the timestamp, that sort of thing. Make sure that those pieces are there. If you have questions on that, if you're like, oh my gosh, that's a lot to remember, it totally is a lot to remember. So what I want you to remember is that there's this resource for you that I put it all here just so, because I knew it's a lot to remember. And you can click right here on this EdReady assignment guidelines, and it will pull up this resource for you. and it tells you all of the different steps here that you can do in order, to get the, where it reminds you that getting at least an 85% earns you 100% in the grade book. And then it talks to you about what all you're needing to take a screenshot of. So make sure your screenshot is your username, the timestamp, the topic title score, the word practice. It links you to that. How do I take a screenshot again? So if you don't know how to take a screenshot, you can go to this website and it'll show you how to take a screenshot on your particular device. And then I even give you, a sample here of what your screenshots should look like. And I just kind of circled up the information that you're needing to verify that's on your screenshots, just because I know that that's a lot of information to remember. And then you guys, once you finish taking your screenshots and you're ready to turn that in, that is where you're going to turn them in, is right here on that assignment drop. And I think that's it. So if you guys have any questions, make sure that you guys are reaching out and you're asking me questions as soon as they come up so I can address any that you have. And I think that's it. Thanks for tuning in.